Okay, welcome back after some serious technical issues that I had that were just crazy. We have it where we are playing Kerbal Space Program. And the reason we're doing this is because I wanted to test a bunch of mods. Now, you might ask yourself, how many mods? A lot of mods. Like, I've got 180 mods here. Like, you name it, I've got it. There's things like contract packs, parts, uh, various types of things that allow me to like do like restock, which changes the pot, scatter effects, special spacesuits, all this stuff like this. It's all sort of just tossed in there like crazy, and that brings us to Kerbal Space Program, where we have it here. Oops, sorry. I need to do one. Yeah, it's going to tell me I'm now using microphone, but hopefully the microphone's still working. Yes, first, Space Python, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know as I'm just trying to finalize the last things on the stream just because I've been having some problems today. It's been a while since I've streamed, and apparently I can't remember how to do it properly, if that can make sense. And I just have to make some setting changes. Skittle bag applesauce flavored. Yeah, that right. That is what we are playing right now. We are having a whole Skittle bag of stuff here because we've thrown 180 mods into KSP1. I'm trying KSP1 because basically I'm at that point where KSP2 I actually have it and I've been playing it, but it like likes to break and then like the crack and stuff and like it'll literally shear the airplane wings off my spacecraft and stuff like that. So I was gonna make this whole video about going to Lathe and be like, let's go to Lathe, and then I had to hit save and whatever because I had a little bit of a problem, and then it's like aircraft wings gone. So instead, we're going to be playing KSP1 with a whole bunch of mods. I have set up a new career path. So we're going to start this from scratch. And basically, I'm just going to play it for a bit here, talk to you guys, say hello to Katana. Yeah, Katana with a 4. And basically just see how this is going and chat with you guys while I'm playing this. And hopefully, this is not going to horribly break. I hope. That's what my hope is. So, like, we have a Mun orbital telescope. Like, I've got, as I said, 180 mods. So we're gonna see which ones I like, which ones I don't like, and sort of see where it goes as to which ones are a lot of fun. Now, I got this one says leave the launch pad, so I'm gonna pick this one. This is probably the easiest one in the world, and I'm not gonna be able to go into orbit anytime soon. Space, orbit Kerbin, do some science. We could definitely do some science. So we're gonna pick these two mods, and we're gonna go to research and development. I don't have any research, but this is the tech tree I'm using. I'm using the one called Probes Before um, Crew. So at the start, we just have some probe cores. I have this one here. It's from one of the other packs. It's potentially Atomic Tech dumps it in the start. But other than that, I have a whole bunch of probe stuff. So we're going to go to the vehicle assembly. Hey, uh, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm gonna say plays two. Sorry. Welcome back. Yeah, sorry for that complete mess up the first time. And because I have all these mods, it does take a little bit time to load. So we have the Stay Putnik here, and we have this other one called the Umbra Avionics package. These other two are from mods, so I'm not going to touch them until I get another capsule in this particular save because they should be later, but I don't know how to move them in the science with the probe corps before. So there you go. Ping me if I want to test the Star Trek mod. Yes, I do want to test that Star Trek mod. I'm not exactly sure which one it is. So if you could send me the link, that would be amazing. And we'll go from there and see how we do. So I can't put this avionics package first. But what I can do, I think it's payloads. Yep, I can put this down. And this little guy here is a little payload holder, which I can then go back to the thing and add in the avionics. So now this rocket, which I'm building, which currently is just a thing here, has a avionics unit. And I've been playing KSP2 too much. I'm trying to move around. I forgot how to do it. All right, there we go. And we're just going to put it here, try to even it off center, because I do have some room for some science. And if I go here, I think I have to go, oh, there, I need this. This is the parachute and the nose cone. And this is from the pack that does sounding rockets. And I kind of like this because it's a nicer start, I think, to KSP, because you'd start off with like sounding rockets and stuff in actual, like when we look at our actual thing, you don't just stick a Kerbal in a crew can and go bye bye as the first rocket you launch. In the normal mode. Now it also has a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm not expecting to. Well, I might save this rocket. So let's put one engineering test bay in here. This is again, sounding rockets have these little tiny test bays, so additional science, which is important because probes and cores, this pack here that I have, actually reduces the return on science. Like I don't get as much science back as I normally would. And I'm gonna want this one here. And then we're going to go over to aerodynamics, and we're going to pick this guy here. Again, this is sounding rocket pack. And we've built this very, very basic, if I can do it like that. There we go. Basic sounding rocket. Very basic. Like it's the only thing we need to do is put the rocket there. Okay. And the microphone should be working now. Hopefully this sounds a little bit better. I'm just having to make a switch here to my, whoops, there we are. Pardon me for all the microphone problems today. I'm going to have to definitely test stuff out. There it is. Nope. Speakers. There we go. That's probably it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we have flight engineering here. We have old scraps. So sometimes things will not work. And hopefully this is all going to work relatively well. I have no SAS on board. I don't even know why I did that. But so we're just going to launch this rocket straight up in the air. It's going to go like it doesn't care. And then it's going to pop out because I have the aerodynamic program on here for me. And we'll eject those out. Parachute's going to come out, so it's going to hopefully stabilize it. And then we can start doing some stuff. So number one, we can do telemetry report. This is a telemetry report, is part of the probes to core system. It gives us, each probe can send a telemetry report, whereas crew is going to send a crew report. We can hopefully do the log the temperature, which we can do. We're going to keep these experiments because I'm hoping it's going to hit the ground. But you can see here that we are slowly using battery power to do this. And then we're going to record test data. And this one here, we're going to save. And then we're going to try to transmit this data home. We're going to use a lot of power to do this. So if we run out of battery power, it's going to, oh, right. That's another box. Great. I have to figure out the box. Okay. Persistent rotation is there, and it's kind of an annoying spot. But okay. So there we go. And I have over here, we're going to go here, time warp. Okay, 5. And we're just going to land this thing on the ground. And hopefully it's going to give us a whole bunch of science. It's already given us points and money to go and do this. So I'm getting a question here, which is PicoSpace. How do I get the mod loader on Spaceflight Simulator? You don't need the mod loader on the latest version. It's already included. So that's a nice thing to have happen. I do not know how to move this box though. Right. I don't know how to move this box. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're gonna move it there. Perfect. And we've flown down here now. Since I'm using time warp to do this, the 12 times time warp really, because otherwise this stuff takes forever to land. I also have this oak scrap thing, so this means parts randomly break. And it's kind of a fun one because, yeah, sometimes parts do break. But we did that. We got some science back, so we're good. I am getting a question of Katana. Are you working on some new mods? Yes. So I am working on some new mods. I'm hoping to be having those mods come out soonish. The main thing is that I'm now sort of going and making sort of my own stuff rather than the semi-realistic stuff. So it takes a little bit longer because not only do I have to make it, but I have to make stuff that is, not too cheaty, not too crazy. One of the things I liked about doing all that semi-realistic stuff was that it ended up being I could use the realism, and I figured out I literally sat down mathematical formula. I think a couple other people have, they've helped me develop this, so it was sort of known to sizing, scaling. So I could sit there and say, okay, here's what the specs were for the rocket in real life, and then I could convert those into Spaceflight Simulator. Now with how much? I got 31. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to research this, and then I'm going to research that. I can't do these ones here because I have to go back here and upgrade it. This is a mod called Barn that allows me to do that. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of money upgrading it. I think I'm good for that. And I want to spend a little. Oh, I don't want to spend that much money. I don't have that much money. I definitely don't have that much money. Okay. And basically, with the mods I've been working on for Spaceflight Simulator, basically what it came out to being is it's taken a little bit longer to design them. Backstory, kind of from a medical standpoint, had my left arm out of commission for a while. So it ended up causing me some issues. Not big issues, but basically I had 2 months where I really couldn't do too much except with my right arm, which is difficult when I'm on the computer because it's a lot of typing. Typing with one arm is very slow, and then I had to play a lot of catch up. So I'm finally caught up on all that stuff. And now I'm going and making new stuff. Now I have 21. I don't necessarily want general rocketry. Stability, I kind of do want some of this stuff, but I think I can get away without it. I say that realizing that I'm going to be limited. I kind of want this stuff here because I think this has got the, oh, actually, you know what? Nope. 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 No. I actually think I want the stability one instead. Yeah, let's go for stability. There we go. And there, yeah. So my mods are available on the GitHub off my YouTube page, or you can go onto my Discord server. They're all there, and you can definitely do that. Hey, Prime, welcome to the channel. I'm just playing some KSP this afternoon because I was like, I want to test out 180 mods and see which ones I like or don't like because I want to do sort of a more realistic thing. And because you guys are here, what I'm going to do, can I do it here? I don't know if I can do it here. I think I have to still do it in the cheats. I got to find another one. Cheat menu is, I think there we go. So cheats, we can actually go here, but what I want is Kerbals. All right. I can create a Kerbal and I can give it a name. So I did want to put Prime in here. Anyone who doesn't know, Prime has been helping me out a lot. And Prime, I think we're going to put him as a tourist. I think and we're to give him a ton of experience, courage, and stupidity. And he's a veteran and badass. Great. Create a Kerbal. Awesome. I have a completely useless Kerbal in my thing, right? There we go. Awesome. Okay. Why did we do this? For reasons I'll explain later. But there we go. Yeah, so for Spaceflight Simulator, it's there. It's gonna work. For here, I've been trying out Kerbal because I think it's a little bit more visually enjoyable one for people. Why did it? Oh, I think I had to transmit it back to do some science. Launch a vessel into the air. Oh, I have to recover. Okay, I have to actually transmit the science back to get that one. Oops. Okay, not the end of the world. I can do that. This is some of the starting money. And it says reach the upper atmosphere. Let's do that one. Okay, we're going to go for the upper atmosphere and we're going to transmit some science. To transmit science, I believe I need a shoot, because it's real tech or communication network, and therefore I need to put in here, where is the communications? I need one of these little communitron thingies in the rocket. And I know this probably looks really bad, but go like this. There we go. I'm going to stick it there, and then we're going to use this move tool, which I've played for so long I didn't even realize it existed. And I'm just going to move it right in the middle. Call it a day. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, then we're going to put this back and there. So we have that there. We then have couplers, this tiny little coupler right here. And then I can put a second stage on this rocket. I believe the green one is the longer one. Yeah. And then if I stage it properly here, green one goes first, yellow one goes second, and there we go. Cool. That gives us 14 or 1,144. That's probably enough to get to upper atmosphere, and then we can go into the upper atmosphere. And yes, I'm going to have naming Kerbal stuff because people will want Kerbal names once I do this in earnest. Today is sort of more of a test day, and then I'll explain what I'm doing, because you can get a Kerbal named after yourself. And then that Kerbal, oh, and I need another thing to increase this pressure, because anyway, I just talk a lot. That's what I do when I'm playing games. I sit here and I talk, and I'm like, oh, here's some things. I think this is aerodynamically going to work. And it says it has too many parts. So it has 16 parts. I can only have 15 parts. All right, that's not too difficult. We're going to get rid of that because I know that's kind of heavy. Okay, there we go. 15 parts, 15 parts. It's happy. The sounding rocket's going up. Yes, it does look like a model rocket, because these are sounding rockets. These are the original rockets when people started. They have a solid fuel motor. They don't have really any controls, and they basically shot them up into the upper atmosphere with a bunch of scientific data that then came back down and worked. So we're just going to close that up. Like, I don't have any SAS. I can't do anything, and I have this thing here. I'm just going to put it there. Okay. And we're going to hit launch, and it's going to shoot up in the air. Great, it didn't fail. I so far have not had any failures yet. And then I'm going to press the next one, and it's going to shoot up. I have no control turning it. Like, there's no controls yet. Later in the sounding rocket pack, there are controls. And then we're just going to hopefully pop those out of the way. I can't control the rocket. Literally, it is. They will move as, there we go. Perfect. And then I can go and say, great, telemetry report. Nope. About science, log temperature. There we go. I'm going to what just happened? Oh, no. Okay, log temperature. Oh, because of the aerodynamic pressures. Okay, that's why. Okay, so we're going to transmit this. We're going to use up most of our battery power to do that. And then we can log some more temperature. It's not going to do much, but that completes our contract. Yep, there we go. And now we just have to sort of high speed warp this thing back down. And at some point, the parachute will eject. There we go. And we just got to wait for it to land on the ground. Ta-da! Ooh, somebody's having pizza. That sounds yummy. And then it says like a battery pack failed, and now I have no power. And without any power, I can't control the craft at all. It's just going to basically fall down, but that's okay. We'll recover it once it's in the water. And overall, this pack seems to be working pretty good. I do also have this other option in here. It's called Kaboom. It's another mod I added in, and basically what it allows me to do is blow up certain pieces and apparently super glue them, although I haven't tried to figure out how that works yet, but they're there. and then we're going to land on the water. It's going to float, which is good, and we're going to recover the vessel. I do have a tool in here that allows me to actually to sink parts to the bottom of the water. That was one of the ones I tested out. That's why it's got all that thing saying ballast. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's going to work. Yeah. So Prime's mentioning that RP1 is very aesthetically pleasing, but it is very difficult. That's what I originally was going to try, and it just drove me bonkers. I'm sorry, Prime. I know you're like, it's amazing and it's really cool and complicated, but it drove me bonkers. I was like, what's going on here? So I don't think RP1 is for me. Sorry. Active contract, reach the upper atmosphere. So apparently last launch, we did not reach the upper atmosphere. And I need that money. Yeah, if you have fake SFS, then the mods aren't going to work. You do need to buy it from Steam. And yeah, I don't support anybody going and doing it any other way because people need to get paid for the work they do, except for modders, because apparently we do it for free. I don't know why. All right, I'm going to run into a problem because I need a bigger rocket. Actually, you know what? I don't need a bigger rocket. Haha, I can do it the other way. Okay, 1 second. I need this gone, and I need a bigger, there we go. Haha, I don't need a bigger rocket. Well, I kind of do, but I just need a rocket with more energy in it. Okay, so that's going to go up to the upper atmosphere, and then we're going to launch that. It's only like I'm spending $2,000 a rocket, which is the other thing I like about this. Does it? Ooh, yeah. Let's not go too crazy here, because I haven't tested those motors out yet. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a bit of yarring piracy. I don't support pirating software. If you're running into problems, I would definitely recommend reaching out to the main Spaceflight Simulator Discord, and they can help you with the purchase of one. And if you're having problems purchasing one, again, they're the best ones to ask. As I just try to make sure I put the rocks in the wrong spot, just because I don't do tech support for them. I made a whole bunch of mods for free. I'm not going to do tech support as well. All right, so this one here, it's a slightly bigger rocket. And the second engine didn't fire, did it? Oh, no. It didn't fire. So, yeah. It's going to try to repair it remotely. It's not going to work. So this one here is DOA, dead on arrival. It's sort of done. Now, the other problem is I forgot is that this piece here is going to be kind of heavy. So I'm not sure if it's going to explode on the ground. And hopefully it doesn't damage anything. And Prime Aerospace's. Oh, it didn't explode. All right, cool. But since we're on the ground here, we can log temperature because the ground is specific, and I think we can also do a telemetry report. Yes, and then we're going to recover this vessel. Yes, there we go. Now, we got recovery, so we're good. Everyone's happy with that one. Yay, us. Woo! Now, this is important for recovering pieces because with the mod I have, Oh Snap, or whatever it's called, I also have one called Stockyards. So when I recover parts and stuff like that, basically like payload trust and stuff like this, it comes back as money in, but it means that the parts are reused, and because I'm reusing them, I basically they don't break as often. And I say that, and I'm assuming that's true. So we're gonna go back to the vehicle assembly. We're gonna have to launch another one, and see what we can do there. And hopefully this is going to work out well, and it's not going to have the rocket break. But if we go here, you can sort of see here, where is it? Scrapyard. So here's where all the parts that I've used already. Like there's a bunch of different parts here, but because I've been using these, it keeps track of how many times I've launched these parts, and that means that when I launch them again, they don't cost as much money. Or sorry, not cost as much money. They don't break as often, which means that they're more reliable. So that's what we're doing. We're going to try this again. We're trying to get up to the upper atmosphere, which is basically shoot straight up and then get to about 1,800 feet or meters, sorry, and then at that point, we'll get another influx of cash from the contracts, which are very important because as we expand our rocketry, um, things get expensive in this game. They get very expensive. So here you can see it, scrap. We're just going to move the flight engineer over here. I think that's probably good. So if we highlight the worst part right now, it's the communitron, which is in there. So we might lose communication. I'm not too worried about that because we're not really flying anywhere crazy with this. And failed to ignite again. Oh, this is annoying. And now I just engaged the parachute. No, that engine's broken. Great. Awesome. So yeah, and then we just used up all our electrical charge, so I can't really control anything. So I probably should have done this beforehand, but that's okay. So yeah, one of the things I'm doing this is because this gives us a more realistic spaceflight program. We do encounter problems with parts. So it's gonna hit the ground. Okay, we're good. Recover the vessel. So we're gonna have to spend some money to do multiple tests, etc. And when we're launching, etc. I don't know. Again, you'll have to let me know what you think about this one. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's a neat little, probably annoying feature. I don't know how annoying it's going to be as we keep going in terms of like random part failures. I would have liked it if there was a little bit more thought in terms of like why parts are breaking. And obviously, if I had a Kerbal on, I could probably repair them. But remote repairing seems to not work that great. What else do we have here that I could potentially do off the launch pad? No, that's got a zone. Right now, we don't have a lot of control. This one wants me to do preliminary reports. This is the weirdest one ever. That one there really just drive around with a rover. And this one says get the space, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we'll take the get the space one. And what we're going to do is we clearly need to have more parts. So I'm going to spend some of our money on upgrading the vehicle assembly building so that we can build a slightly bigger rocket that'll hopefully get to space. And then we're just going to have to make some changes to this rocket because this top part here keeps breaking, which I as I said, I don't understand that mod perfectly, but we're going to do that. There we go. We're going to put this here. And then we're going to go back to the coupling part here. Put that on the bottom. To payloads. No. See, this is some other stuff that came in. Aerodynamics? No. Structural, maybe. There it is. Okay. We're going to do this. Because I know I have a bigger booster. Bigger booster. And then aerodynamics, I have these big flat wings. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to offset this all the way down. So that hopefully will be as stable as possible because I still don't have any. Oh, I do have a stabilizer. Okay. We'll slap that in. No, this is too big. Okay. That's why. I'm like, I can't. I didn't think I had one. So, okay. So it's going to be booster one, separate and fire. Oh, no. Separate and fire. That's going to go here. Yeah. And the reason we're doing this is because this is probably going to fall from a lot higher. It's going to come down with a much higher velocity. So that should go. And it's going to go. Yeah, it's good to save some money. I know that the Steam and its regional pricing can be a little bit crazy for some countries. I remember having this discussion with a fellow YouTuber of mine where they live Romania, and they're like, the pricing over here is a little bit crazy when it gets converted over. So I was like, yeah, that can be a bit of a pain. All right, so we're still good. We're going to hit this now. We haven't used this big rocket engine first, so hopefully it launches, which of course it doesn't. So we're just going to revert flight here, revert to launch, and hopefully it doesn't do that again. Normally, you're supposed to go through and not do that, but I'm like, it didn't even leave the pad. So that's a bit crazy. To be fair, it isn't difficult to monetize spaceflight simulator mods. I'd love to. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right. Well, apparently this rocket went nowhere. Can I even recover it? I don't think I can recover this. You know what? Shift Alt Delete. Boom! I just blew it up. That's the self-destruct mod, by the way. Another mod I put on here. I don't know why. But now I self-destructed it. It's going to tell me I'm locked out completely. Okay, self-destruct mod may not be a good one. Yeah. So self-destruct mod doesn't seem to work very well. All right. So this is again why I'm trying this out today. All these different mods to see what works, what doesn't. Because obviously some mods the game doesn't like, or maybe they don't work so well. And obviously we're trying to get to Mun or something like that today. And I can't seem to get this thing off the launch pad. All right, so we're gonna try something a little bit different, which is called absolute craziness and some excitement coupling. So we're gonna put this guy in here. 1, 2, 3. Oops, 1, 2, 3, because that's gonna match the wings. We're gonna get some additional. No, I want these ones. We're gonna do this. Do it right. And then I think we said utilities. Yeah, there we go. And that's gonna be 3 boosters. This main booster. These are gonna eject. These are gonna eject. That's gonna cut. This is gonna fire. And then those are gonna go. All right. And this guy still says like, okay, cool. So he's not going to do something weird. All right. Over 25 parts. Oh. Okay, can I make it less parts? I don't know if I can make it less parts. If I get rid of these wings, okay. You know what? Let's do it this way. What do we have on the wing sides? We're going to put the bigger wings on the second stage here. There we go. We're down to 26 parts. Can I remove anything? Oh, you know what? I can remove this temperature thing. There you go. As much as I want to do some temperature, yeah. I could probably remove those two as well, but I don't know. Without any real gyro control, I think removing the outer casing would make this rocket just catch the edge of the atmosphere and the wind, and that would be it. It would be gone. Gone. Okay, so as we still attempt to try to get into orbit, with this, I'm hoping this is going to go. Oh, all 5 of these, all 4 rockets launch. Woohoo! I have no control over what it's doing. It is just going crazy. Awesome. Wait till it's pointing up. And we got telemetry. Yeah, okay, so we're only 3,000 kilometers up. Dang it. This is going to be a little bit harder than I thought. No, we can do a telemetry report, but again, we're not doing anything crazy. Okay, so we're going to have this come back down. I think this is actually going to land in the water. Oh, it's going to land close to the water. All right, let's see how lucky we are if this actually lands in the water or not. Because I wanted to test the ballast system. And we're going to see how that goes. Because we'll see. We're going to see. And then it's got this little parachute here. And again, this is the sounding rocket mod. It does add a little bit of difficulty to the game. Oh, it's just not going to... It's going to get in the water. It's so close. Even right now, I can't tell. There we go. Is it going to get... Oh, I think it just touches the edge of the water. Look at that. And touchdown. It's in the water. It's out of the water. It's in the water. It's out of the water. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to see if we can cover the vessel on that one. Yeah, with one of the mods, it's submersible, so I can actually sink things in the water in theory, so I can explore the bottom of the ocean. I think that there's additional like research and stuff that you can do down there. As I said, it's sort of kind of neat, and that's sort of partly I think one of the so much debris, cover, recover, recover, and part of this is I'm doing this because I get a little bit of money back, and cover even though it's like $1. I think it's mostly those little. Oh, that was actual money came back. Okay. So this is saying I need to upgrade this if I want more parts. But I only have $100,000 left, and I'm basically burning $2,000 a launch or so. So I don't really want to spend half my money on upgrading in order to try to do this. Because I do need that launch in science. So one option I do have, and I don't like it that much, but let's do it anyway, is I'm just going to build a bigger sounding rocket. Yeah, I think that's, oops. Where are you? Bigger sounding rocket. All right. So we're going to toss this whole thing. Bye-bye. We're going to go back to the payload bay and, oh, yeah, that's the right one. Okay, so this is it looks the same, but it's actually much bigger. And we're just going to quickly put this bigger top. It's got a bigger parachute and everything on it. So it's going to be much bigger. Basically, it's just bigger. Let's be honest. It's bigger. It's got a bigger rocket on the bottom. And I don't think we have a coupler big enough for this, do we? We have the 12. The 12 is too big. So we're going to go with these, and we're just going to 4 of them on. And then we're going to go here, quickly make this. There we go. 4 rockets. Now, I don't necessarily want to. Oh, let's see. This costs us $362, whereas, let's say a little top here costs us $160. So that's actually cheaper. So let's do that. If we put parachutes on it, there's a chance that we could recover them. But right now, I don't think that's really as good a thing. All right. We still need to add on here. Oops, over here is our. No. There we go. So you can see it's much smaller now. And we have only 16 parts, which means that we could, in the science tab, slap a barometer in there. There we go. And slap a thermometer. All right. Put the thermometer on the other side, I think. There we go. Let's balance some weight out here. Don't think it matters that much, but it could. Again, without any gyro controls. We do that. Okay. And then we could always put we could put a mystery goo in here. You know what? Let's do that. This is awesome gameplay right here. Let's put a mystery goo in a rocket that we have very little chance of actually recovering. Why is that being the way it is? Okay. There we go. All right. And we'll go back to payload, and we're going to, whoops, no, we need the orange ones. And 2. Done. Okay. So that's going to be our rocket. It's a lot more power. This thing theoretically could get to orbit if it points in the right direction. All right. So put that there. Okay. Actually, you know what? We're going to do that. Just the spacing out, just in case this thing does not go straight. And then I'm going to slap on the outside of these wings here, like that. There we go. Because these things only cost like $15, so there we go. And it's all lined up, perfect. All right, we're gonna launch this and see if we can get this into high orbit. Yeah, so spaceflight's water physics. Yeah, I don't know what spaceflight simulator of water is gonna look like. It looks like it's gonna do it. And it says it's upset because it's over 24 parts. Okay. I guess these are not gonna go on. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, for Space Flight Simulator, I'm not sure, Prime, what the end result's going to be. He's been so quiet recently; it's a little bit crazy. Not to say that it isn't they shouldn't be giving us updates, but it'd be nice to know what the updates are. But like I know when he did that leak and what I saw there, and then he added water and all this stuff, he's got like 20 things on his plate, and they're all like half done. So I don't know. It's just I think it's one of those things where we'll see it when it eventually maybe comes out. And half those didn't fire, did they? Well, the container kept around, so that's good because that's probably the most valued part out of the whole thing. Yeah, so welcome to Kerbal Space Program, the continued explosion edition. So I'm thinking, oh scrap, while I kind of like it, is getting a little annoying because the failures are a bit too frequent. Let me know what you think in the comments on that one because we've now had like what 5 launches that have failed in a row, and it wouldn't be too bad if it was like launch failed, okay, launch another one, launch failed, okay, launch another one. But like this eats up like 5 minutes of our time doing this, like because of the fact that it takes so long to load and everything else. It's not like we're saying boom, 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 let's go. So we'll see about that. Um, but yeah, no, the only thing with the water and sinking in the water is I think I added it in because I was like, that might be neat to do some underwater stuff, but also things like I'm landing in, shoot, what's it called? Lathe and stuff like that, where I'm like, I get there and I'm like, so much of it's water, you can't really do anything. Oh, all 4 fired. Okay, we have an actual launch. Hopefully it's going to get up into orbit and not go crazy on us. And I said that, and the whole thing exploded again. I guess the telemetry, it's just the part. Well, I am not waiting for this thing to land. So welcome to Kaboom. Kaboom has a delay on it. Oh wait, there we go. Which basically blows stuff up. Woo. Um, and apparently it blows stuff up and it pauses the game. Or I don't know. Okay, cool. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. I think that's the other app because I don't remember doing it. I think it came up. So yeah, I think the self-destruct app is causing me some issues. So while I'm doing this, by the way, I should mention I am writing down notes here. So I'm going to take the self-destruct out. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to basically go and remove stuff. I'm writing it on Notepad because I'll do it all at once. But yeah, that should have not just had everything explode on me. And we're going to launch another one, and we're going to see if this works out well. POV SN24. Um, okay. I'm not sure if I can do POV. I have camera stuff. I still haven't quite figured out the camera stuff here. But yeah, we're gonna see how this works. This is gonna load. Awesome. All right. The worst part is the center. That's not great. But let's try it out. I'll forego. This time I'm gonna let it go and then like to a certain point slow down before I detach it. Yeah, there's a lot of aerodynamic pressure on this thing. And then kind of wait for it to point up. Is it going to point up? No. Okay. Then I'm going to detach these 4 pieces and hope it's going to point up. Oh, it's just going to spin. All right. Well, so this is not working out as well as I'd hoped. Main issue we seem to be running into is and pieces keep breaking due to like forces on this rocket, and then you're going to hear a pile of explosions, and we're going to end up landing. It's not too bad. Like it's going pretty fast. We're going to get in the water this time. So if we're actually in the water, I want to test out. I think it's here, or is it? Where is it? Oh, I don't have any batteries. That's why I'm running into problems. All right. So when I made this change, I forgot to include batteries, and without any power, I basically once it's off the launch pad, it uses up all its power. Well, no, it has enough power because it gets up to the top. But yeah, once it's out of power, I can't control it. That's problematic. Okay. Sorry, while I think here. All right, so that design is clearly not working. As much as I thought it would work, that clearly is just not giving me enough oomph for the displacement, if I can say that. So we might have to step out of the sounding rockets. All right. So we're going to try something else here. Coupling. I'm going to try this truss separator on the bottom. I know I shouldn't, but there you go. Done. Oops. Put there. Okay. Take the top off. Put that underneath there. Take this off. What do we have aerodynamically? We do have these big winglets. So let's put these on. Oh, they do fit. Perfect. And then we're going to go and do another one. There we go. So we have, actually do it this way. 1, then we have 2, which has this break here, then 3. To this one here. So it's all one. This hopefully means we're going to be upper atmosphere pretty quick. So hopefully that's, by the time we lose the wings, this will all be flying upward. And what do we have here? I think we did have a inline reaction wheel, which I can add here at the bottom. So actually, you know what? What parts do we have? Inline reaction wheel. Okay. So that's going to give me a little bit control. It's going to go all the way up. It's under 19 parts. And what did I say I need to add? I need to add batteries, because if I run out of charge, I can't fly this thing. It flies like a boat. Battery. One battery up there. 2 batteries there. Okay, that gives us enough charge for what should be a relatively short flight. Okay. There we go. So let's see if we can do this now. We still don't have an SAS on here, which is problematic. Yeah. And that's probably because I have to upgrade something. What is it upset about now? Oh, apparently too tall. Apparently too tall. Oh, how much I can do about that then? 2. 2 should still be able to get to upper atmosphere. I cannot believe it's taking this long to get to upper atmosphere. If you are watching this and you think this is really boring content, let me know. And I can maybe move things forward with some Kerbals and some other rocketry. But yeah, that's why I'm again testing this to see if this is fun, etc., and give you an idea what it looks like. Oh, average now. So the worst highlighted part is the reactionary wheel, which is the one thing we kind of need to work. And the rocket has failed to ignite. That is ridiculous. That reactionary wheel is great. Look at it go. Totally not doing anything. Like I don't think I even broke 2000 here. Oh my god. Well, we're just gonna do this. Observe the mystery goo because we can. And transmit the science? No, cancel. We're gonna save that experiment. Can we get the barometer? Come on. Log pressure data. Oh, that's actually worth science. Good. I don't think this might log temperature. No. Temperature needs to get to upper atmosphere or something. Okay. And we're just going to land it, and then we're going to see what we can get on the ground. Assuming we have enough power. Yeah, we're not going to run an electrical charge. Awesome. Because it's a probe, this little box keeps using power all the time. As we come to a nice landing. Oh, did it explode? It did. Are you kidding me? Huh. Okay. Well, that sucks. Space Center. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Basically, you're right. Failing to ignite. I think it wasn't so much a failing to ignite. I think it was that it didn't detach from the booster because and once it didn't detach from the booster, they just kept running the booster. Because I would have thought that now there is some science on this, so I do want it. Yes, thank you. And over here, cover. Okay. So I'm going to go here to the tracking station. No, apparently I can't press anything. What is going on here? All right. I can't click on any of the buildings. Oh, this game's upset at me for something. No. Oh. Repair all buildings? Yes, no. Okay. Quit the main menu, and then we'll pop back in. Hope that'll work. Yeah, 3 engines failed to ignite. Oh, this is the old scrap makes things a lot harder. Like seriously, um, like I've had some pretty nasty flight mistakes, etc. With Kerbal Space Program, but when it's like, half your boosters aren't going to flight, it's like, but boosters are pretty reliable. Like, so I'm not sure what it's using. Like, I know it's using a bathtub tub curve for determining when parts fail or not. So the more you use them, the less they fail, kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm like, um, they really should work a little bit better. All right, so let's see here. What do we got? Survivability. We don't really need survivability. I know I say that, but what do we have over here? Do we have any actual engines? We have parts and bigger boosters, but I don't think we have any actual engine fuel. So I'm tempted to get general rocketry because we'll get these rockets here. Yeah, there's also SSR, which is Squiggly Space Research, which also has a lot of small parts. Yeah, Pico Space has a bunch of mods, of which most of them are small parts. If you didn't quite click on that one yet, that kind of goes with the name. We're trying to do small science here. Small, little, tiny rockets. Everything's kind of small and tiny. And the reason that we're doing that is because I thought it'd be cool. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't even get something to go up in the air and down. Um, and I don't have telemetry, etc. So this is getting, I don't want to say frustrating. That would be the wrong word. But it definitely is getting to the point where I'm like, come on, please work. Please work at least once. So we're going to give this one more time a go, and then I'm going to switch into bigger things. And yeah, this is the thing, like some of these mods, they have it where they'll toss in like a bunch of, oh, crap, that's the wrong one. They'll toss in a lot of extra parts. And no, that's not what I want to do. First part here. Like a lot of extra parts that, timing wise don't work so well with the oh, is that too big? There we go. So we're going to build a smaller rocket again. But what we're going to do is actually put the small rocket on top of the big one. Because I don't think I have any fuel. Oh, no, I do have fuels. Okay, you know what? Ignore everything I just said. We're going to do this the easy peasy way. New. We're just going to go and say, hey, you know what? Let's put the Koos Bob here. There it is. Toss that. I don't think I have a heat shield for it or anything, do I? No. So this is just going to be coming along. So this is a yellow thing. This is kind of neat. I like it. The only thing you have to realize is that it does have a docking port here, but this isn't a docking port. Like you can dock with it, like, but as far as I can see, it doesn't have an undock. Like you to deploy the antenna, retract the antenna, that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's no undocking, so you have to undock it with whatever it connects to. So that's the interesting thing with this guy. So we're gonna put coupler in here. That's way too small, but okay. And we're gonna get some fuel tanks here. Oh yeah, this is ridiculous. You know what? I think I have bigger fuel tanks. Let's put the bigger fuel tank in. We're just gonna do this. There we go. And then we're gonna stick an engine on the bottom. Swivel, sure. Right. And then we're gonna go to here. We're gonna grab these wings here. Go boop 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 because they cost very little. Boom. Oh, actually they cost a lot. Are these like $800? They're $500 a piece. Okay. And then we can't really put anything on the top, or can we? We can, but we'd have to put a coupler on it and flip it. There we go. And then aerodynamics. I think this is it. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Super. And it's gonna blow up. Okay, cool. Since we're doing this, there's no parachute in here. Ooh, I didn't think that one through, did I? I don't think I can stick this anywhere, can I? I can. Okay, Kerbal parachutes. Apparently we'll go there. Awesome. So I do have some parachutes. I've never used the Kerbal parachutes before, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah, small parts, large failures. So we're building this little bigger craft because it's just flying straight up, going to break apart, and then hopefully these Kerbal parachutes are going to work. And I have to make sure they're at 0.5, otherwise the aerodynamic pressure will destroy these balloons. And I'm going to stick, oops, let's not do that. Where's the little holder? There it is. All right, so I'm going to put one of these on here, just so that it gets there. We do have this little mystery goo can, but let's not do that. All right. So, and then we're going to pick who. Oh, I know who we're putting in. No, Jebediah, we'll keep you for a real mission. We're going to put Prime Kerbal in there. He's a tourist. Actually, he's a tourist, so he can't go in. Dang it. Like he could, but I'd get no benefit for controls or anything. And yeah, he wants to visit Drez. I don't know if he's going to make it because I think I have it here where if I kill Kerbal, they stay dead. Yeah, this is a very punishing mode. I put this game in when I made it. I basically have it where your Kerbals can die, your Kerbals need stacks, all of their stuff to make it a little bit more difficult because I want to see if I can make it more difficult because I do like more difficulty, but at the same time, I don't want to make it so difficult that nothing ever gets done. There we go. Because if nothing ever gets done, then that's not good. And if you're wondering, if we jump in here to Kerbal, he's basically looking out an open window. And the only reason why he can't see out the open window is because there's a parachute directly in front of him, or this nose cone. So it's going. So with any luck, this is going to easily put us into. All right, and we're going to cut it there. We don't have to go all the way to atmosphere. So, and I'm not sure if these parachutes are going to work. So, and there's no heat shield as well. So let's not push it. I only need to go so high. And oh, I also have automatic science, so it'll automatically do science. So like if I log the pressure data, where is it here? Is there a way? No, review store data. So like I have temperature scans, crew reports, all that stuff. So I sort of added this one in. Keep. It sort of does auto science, and the reason for that is because in this mod I added a whole bunch of different science mods, and I was like, there we go. I don't know if he can EVA. I don't know if it's wise for him to EVA. Apparently he can. Get the EVA report. Oh, see, automatically does the EVA report. Perfect. I think he's floating. Oh, jeez, bored. Floating in space. That's not good. So yeah, so it automatically does all the science experiments, etc. in that, and I really like that one. Ah, yeah. So KSP2 modding, I would really like to do that as well. I need to explore it, but KSP2 is definitely a little more complicated. What I'm thinking KSP2 would be nice is if I actually met up with somebody who would like team up with somebody who does like the modding, the coding, all that stuff, and then like I could do like the design of crafts and stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun because like when I'm doing like spaceflight simulator modding, I really like making the craft designs and all that stuff. While yes, making specific mods is fun too, there's a degree of the modding and designing all these cool parts and stuff, I think would be the more fun part if I had to do it. And then here you can see now we're able to look out here, and he's looking outside the capsule, basically looking out an open port into dead space. So that's what he's doing right now. And if we go like this, can we see him? No, we can't see him. Okay, but we can. Where's it? Oh, right. We do have this. So the other reason I like this thing here is we can go like this. Whoa. And do this. It's got escape boosters. And the idea being is that it's designed as an escape pod. So you launch this into low Kerbal orbit, and then at your apoapsis, you would then fire this retrograde, and that would be enough to slow this canister down to get into orbit. And now there's a phone. Well, I'm not answering the phone. Phone's going to ring for a second here, but I'm not answering it. Somebody else will get it. Yeah, so we're going to keep coming down. Oh, the parachutes came out. How big are these chutes? Oh, they look like reasonably decent chutes. They slow us. Oh yeah, they slowed us down, no problem whatsoever. Perfect. All right, and we're just gonna land in the middle of nowhere. Oh, we're still in shores biome. Okay. Just because I don't want to. That one thing I don't like with time warp is that I don't want to time warp right into the ground because bad things can happen if you time warp right into the ground. All right, there you go. And we recovered the vessel. Yay. That's yeah. So I like the sounding rockets, but with this old scrap thing, they fail too often to reasonably launch them because you need quite a few to get anywhere, particularly up in high atmosphere. And if you're going with you know crazy rockets that fail like 1/5 of the time or something like that, which I think is what it actually is right now, that's a little bit crazy. Yeah, so we got pilot scientific data. Parts came back. We were pretty close, and he got some experience. Which brings us to another mod. So I got this one, a little mod that actually um, has these lights that are on. I think you click on them, they turn off. Yeah, so you can turn them on and off. But yeah, they light the launch pad, and there it is. So when you're launching your rockets, you can see it in the middle of the night. And then obviously once it leaves the launch pad, it's into darkness. And that's with Kerbal constructs, and then this like launch pad light mod that I had. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so now that we've done that, mission control should say we still have active Oh, what? Did we not reach 18 kilometers? Oh, it has to be done with a probe. No. Oh, okay, oopsies. So that launch, despite bringing us a pile of science, didn't actually do very much for us. But we can now spend some research points because we now have a lot. All right, so we're gonna get this one here, and we're not gonna be able to get this level because I have to um, upgrade this guy. I don't really want to spend $20,000 on it right now. But what we can do is, with that extra research, we hopefully now have, yeah, this is with like 180. This is Kerbal Space Program 1 with like 180 mods added to it. So I can't do this with this guy because it needs to be a probe. But now I have an actual probe. Actual probe with actual probe stuff. So now we can actually build an actual probe. I'm going to say probe like 8 times now. People are like, what's wrong with you? And it's got an 06 decoupler, an 012 decoupler. Much rejoicing is now here. All right, so we're going to grab this. How big is that? It is the 12 size. Okay. So we're going to grab the 12, put it right there on the probe. We're going to add in a silly amount of fuel. 1, 2, you know what? That's probably enough fuel. I said silly, but let's not go crazy. I can now get an engine. We're going to take the swivel engine again. We're going to put the swivel on there. We're going to put these incredibly expensive wings, like $500 just for, the wings is a little nuts. But pay what you need to, I guess. And then in survivability and utilities, we have more Kerballoons. Okay, because these worked so well. There we go. And we also have these noose ones too for that. We don't need those. We got 4. We don't really. Oh wow, that's just big. The universal airbag module. Uh-huh. Oh, tweak scale, that's why. Okay. Sure. I don't think we really need to do that, but we're doing it anyway. And then aerodynamically, we need to put a giant nose cone on here. I don't know. Small, miniature. There you go. Done. And of course, we're going to slap some science on here. I know these guys will work. These are from the sounding rockets. Which one am I missing? I'm missing the red one. Okay. So they'll go there. Automatic science will get collected. Let's do that. I know this is going to flip it upside down because the parachutes are here, but I'd rather land on the nose cone than land on this, although I do have airbags, so maybe move these up. Oh, I don't know if I can move them up. Okay. Oh, I can put them up here on the airbags. Okay. Or you know what? Can I put it right underneath? No. Let's put it there. Okay. Nose cone has that. Okay, there we go. Everything looks pretty good. Pile of science. Yeah, this is the submersible organ. So this is why I wanted to see if I can submerge something, because this guy here basically does submersible science. So that's kind of cool. And then I have this other gravicore that's just giant thing. I have no idea what it does. Yeah, I packed this full of science. The reason is because the mode I'm doing doesn't provide as much science as other modes do. And I got more parachutes coming out of my nose than I possibly could ever use. I even have a heat shield. How big heat shield? Tiny heat shield. The caboose heat shield is bigger. But yeah. And how am I doing with power? I have these panels. Let's put the panels on, and then we go like this. We'll slap a battery in the bottom. There we go. Perfect. All right. This is probably, 25 parts. Delta V is not amazing, but we're only going up to space and back. So hopefully it's not going to go there. Am I going to do a BP review stream sometime? Always a possibility if people want it. Always happy to do some streaming. I'm trying to do more streaming now. But yeah, I'm not necessarily the best person to review blueprints for Spaceflight Simulator, simply because I really don't know how to do them. Everything I know, like I know how to do mods, and I know how to use that part manager mod and stuff. So here you can see the lights are lighting up the rocket on the pad. We're going to turn on. Oh, game is frozen. Really? Oh. Oh, there's okay. I know it's not frozen. Haha. I forgot to include a antenna. Without an antenna, there's no way to control the rocket. Oh boy, that would have been a mistake. Yeah, because I have real tech on here, so I do need to add one of these guys in. I'm going to add them here in the back, like so. Oh, it's going to cause me problems. There we go. Yeah, you have to have an active connection at all times. And this is one of the other mods I had in here. And now it's over 25 parts. Oh, how much battery power does it have? If I take the battery out, 50 should be enough for this voyage. All right. And these guys, again, maximum out. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. And we'll see how this goes. I'm having a bit of fun. Yeah. So yeah, so KSP mod tutorials would be nice. I still have to learn how to make KSP mods. Right now, I'm just testing a bunch out. I'm trying to see what I like and stuff. Because there's, as I said before, and pardon the sudden flash of white, like I have a whole bunch of mods in here. Like Sync 'em All is the one that's designed to like sync the parts so you can sync them in the water. I have like 2.5 space plane stuff. I have remote tech. That's the one that doesn't let me fly unless I have an active communication link with the rocket. Same thing, it doesn't let you transfer science and all that stuff. Like I have deep freeze, Kerbalized suits. So yeah, a whole bunch of just stuff. And I have a whole bunch of other planets and stuff, which I can show you, which I will do now. I have a connection this time? Good. I press this button, it's going to actually launch the rocket. Nice. Okay, so we're going to launch this rocket, and while we're doing this, we're just going to pop over to the map. You can kind of see that it's a very lonely world right now in Kerbal Space Program 2. The only thing we can see is apparently Saturn and the Mun and Kerbin itself. Where's Kerbin? Yeah. And then there's the Mun. But you can also see that there's other things floating around out there yet to be discovered. So I thought that was kind of a neat one to put in there. And that's it for that. So now, if I press this one here, it's going to cause probably a whole sorts of problems. Awesome. If I go here, how much science do I currently have on here? Oh, that's the other thing. The science only does the automatic stuff. Anything that lower transmits, it's not going to do. Save. It's not going to do this one. Go, save. All this has to get back to the ground. I could do a transmit all science, but I don't think I have enough power. Do I? Did I make it high enough for the contract? I did. Okay. So that's all done. How much power do we have left? We have quite a bit. Oh, because the probe doesn't use power? Oh, that's interesting. Oh no, because there's sunlight. Okay, so I can actually transmit all the science. Oops, I deactivated. Oh darn. Well, good news, bad news situation. Yeah, if you deactivate the communication thing, you can't communicate to your thing. Well, it's a good thing I told it to do that, and I believe this is automatic. Yeah, it automatically inflates, and it's nighttime, so this is gonna be. Oh, there we go. You can sort of see here as we come down, switch to ground. So it's got the little balloons in the bottom to make the landing a little bit softer. So there we are, coming down for a nice soft landing. Boop, and then they disappear after. I think you can just send it if you want. All right, so that, other than me cutting off the communication, was not the end of the world. Oh, not a tutorial how to make mods, how to use mods. Yeah, no, I can definitely see doing a lot of tutorials on mods. If people want those, definitely request them on my Discord. I will happily figure out how to use mods and stuff. I know there's a lot of videos out there, but most of the videos I've seen, like a lot of these mods are like 3, 4, 5 years old. And the mods have come a long way, especially with the new stuff. Like this is the mod tree for the called Probes Before Crew mod. And it also, because I have the contract pack, has the contract pack in it. So at the start, ignore this one here and ignore this one here because those are other mods that added in. That's why I have to figure out how to move it around. But you don't start with probes or anything probe related. Anything crew related. You have to get all the way to here. This is the actual first module for the launching of Kerbals. Until then, you can't even get Kerbals off the ground because there's nothing to put them in. So that would actually be kind of cool. I could definitely see doing a series of these as I'm sort of going through these. And again, partly today, it's to figure out what mods I like, which mods I don't like. Because, I don't mind saying, here's some mods I don't like. Like the self destruct one, I don't like. It works, but it kind of freezes up the game a little bit. And I look at that going, that's a little twitchy. So I don't like twitchy mods in terms of like things that kind of almost work. And then you're like, oh, I hope these do work in the future. Versus, other mods that are a little bit more direct. All right, so underwater tourists with 2 Kerbals. You know what? That might be interesting, but I want to maybe put something in. Oh wait, is that okay? So this is enter into space. It has to be a probe. All right, two contracts that send you to space. This is a 104, almost $140,000 contract. Okay, just to get to space, which is good because we are low in cash right now. Um, as far as Kerbal Space Program goes, I might increase the multiplier later. I like the science mode, but I like the contract mode because it's like contracts. But the biggest issue we have is we need to get to space. This is not necessarily going to do it, is it? All right, we're gonna go back. I need more parts, but then it's gonna get upset because it's gonna say, so okay, so 100. So assuming we get about 140,000 for going up to space and back. Let's see what we can do here. By can I upgrade this? Yes, and can I upgrade this? Yes. Okay, so I'm now down to 55,000. Okay, I'm sure I can launch for under $55,000 to space, netting me 140 to 60, because we'll also pick up some science along the way, because everyone loves science. Um, that gives me more parts, which means I can do this, which is not that's the wrong one. Decoupler 12. Yeah, decoupler 12 looks smaller, but it's not. Oh wait, why am I putting a decoupler in there? The engine weighs nothing. All right, 1, 2, and we're gonna say 3. There you go. And then move these down and 4 in there. All right, so that's going to get us up. In the control side, we have this lovely controller here. So I'm going to put that right under. There we go. Okay. And because we like science, really like science, we're going to slap, because these things are relatively inexpensive. These and one of these. What else do we have? Anything else? No, not one of those. And we have a goo for the atmosphere when we're up in space. These guys here. Okay. So I think we're good. I don't know if they're absolutely necessary, but we're up to 31. And communications were good. I don't think I have anything else crazy down here. Yeah, it's just the stuff that we don't really need. Okay, cool. Awesome. Then we're going to launch this straight up and straight down. We're going to go to space. We're going to collect $140,000+, and then we have real money to actually, with science, to push Kerbals into unknown territories as we fly around and hopefully not crash. That's the plan, and the plan is amazing. Awesome. And Cache Designer has made this great suggestion saying I should do specific tutorials on mods, which I think I will do once I sort of play this a little bit just to see what mods I like and don't like. And I have to remember to turn the engine on. Scrap hasn't messed us up too much yet once we've actually gone to real rockets. So that, I'm guessing, is good. And you'll see here that we have another mod I should point out here is Engine Relight. Yeah. So this light here actually now reflects off of stuff. It's dropping me to 28 frames, 29 frames a second. But I think it looks pretty good. And I don't really worry that much about frame rates for these types of games. Like 30 would be nice, more than 30, like 60 is where my monitor actually maxes out anyway. So anything more than 60 is lost. But yeah, this runs at 23. It's a little heavy. And I've got a decent sort of computer. So, and we see all these little planets. Like I think that's a little moon around Kerbin. I don't know. I added so many moons and other stuff in this game. It's insane. So we'll see. But our goal here is to get up to, I think, 75, which we're just going past right now. Like our entire engine is like burning up. We're going, but whatever. We're going to like high space here. We're going to get a pile of stuff. Partly also because once we're in high space, the solar panels will collect electricity, which means we then have electricity for this. And we don't actually need the rocket. So once we are in space, just to basically give us a bit of spacing. I actually, I can do this. Okay, good. There we go. Haha. SAS disengaged? Why? Oh. Okie dokie. Apparently we have 0 electrical charge. Come on. Come on. I don't understand why we have 0 electrical charge. Like, the sun is right there. It's literally hitting the solar panels. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, another mod I have is called consistent rotation, which means once you go to time warp, the rocket still rotates. So it's still going to rotate. And there's actually no heat shield on this either. So I really need to go up to space and then transmit all that science. No power means no connection, means this thing just burns in the atmo or not. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to revert to launch assembly building and see if we can do. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Cache Designer. Sorry, I'm reading while this thing's going. Yeah, they're like all like 3-4 years old. They never really go into detail. Like they're like one guy did a really nice series like 2-minute mods, which is great. But then like a lot of these mods take more than 2 minutes to explain how they work, and you're sitting there going like, ah, dang. So like one thing I got here is clearly a power issue because I'm needing more power. So I'm gonna slap 2 batteries on the back of this and hope this works. I also should probably put a heat shield in somewhere if I can. Let's see here, heat shield. I have this caboose heat shield, but that's really only for that item, and this is tiny. Yeah, it's not really gonna work. All right, so we're gonna try to do this and hope it doesn't burn up in the atmosphere. Yeah. Okay. Because we had to add battery, so that should be better. But yeah, we gotta watch. That's the one thing with this remote tech is you gotta watch out for power and everything else. So if you run out of power, you basically lose control of the rocket unless you have a Kerbal on board. And if you have Kerbal on board right now, there's only one way I can get it back, which is the caboose mod because it actually has a heat shield. But it's more for that mod is designed more as an escape thing, and I can show you guys how to put that all together. But yeah, I'll come up with some videos because I think that's actually a really good idea. Because I think a lot of people like Kerbal Space Program 1. I think a lot of people want to play Kerbal Space Program 2, but let's be honest, uh, it's in a very early access right now. Like I know I'm being frustrated by things not working today because I've got so many mods in here. But Kerbal Space Program 2, I'd be upset because things just randomly explode and everything else goes nuts, and you're like, what's happening? So we're going here. We're using up oxidizer. See, we're not having any problem with power. So I'm wondering why the power ran out last time because I would have thought that it shouldn't have because electrical charge is what we need to communicate. But I'm guessing auto. Oh, you know what it was? It was probably auto science used up all the power. That might be it. In which case, then that's an interesting decision. Which is another thing I should mention is that it's also an aspect of when we're playing this, it's mods, but what mods play well with each other, not necessarily what mods work and they won't have a problem, but like certain mods work well. Like if you put a pack together and said, "Here's a pack of mods," you know they work well together and they're like recommended, etc. Whereas other mods, you have it where they'll work, but they sort of work counterintuitively to each other. Like as I said, the probes before core one, I really think it's a cool mod, but I'm also noticing that parts are coming in at odd spots for all these other ones, which then sort of defeats the purpose of it. So now that we're here, can I get that down there? All right, I'm going to observe the mystery goo. I'm going to keep that experiment. Oops. We're going to say point the camera here. Aim the camera at the mystery goo. And I'm going to go here. We're going to go record astronomical data. We're going to record the electrical. What? Oh, apparently can't be done right now. Why not? I can transmit this one home. I'm not sure if we're going to go to high orbit with this. But yeah. And then here we'll do preliminary report and we'll transmit that as well. So I wasn't sure why the last one when I ejected this, it caused that problem. But we're going to deploy these. So they are ready to deploy, or at least one of them is. I think all of them. Not sure why it can't be done right now. Maybe it can only be done inside the atmosphere? Well, we're still in space low. I don't think we're actually going to go into space high, but we can time warp a little higher because right now we're just basically floating straight up. And if you're wondering what we're doing, this is Kerbal Rings, another cool little mod. It adds rings to all the stock planets. It looks a little bit funny when you're right beside them, but the rest of the time it looks nice. Oh, there we go. Whoops. All right, so we're now in high orbit. So log temperature. Transmit that temperature. Can I do record test data? No. Nope. Nope. All right. What else do we have? Oh, we have the actual unit here. We can do another telemetry report. There we go. We're gonna send that back. Yeah, and all the probe science is relatively low. What's the word? Not impact, but we're gonna go boop. Get rid of that larger case. That may have been the wrong decision. We're going to be coming in pretty hot. But we have completed the contracts. There you go. Contract complete. We've transmitted all the science we can, other than this guy here, which we could review the data and we could transmit it back. But sending another mystery goo up into Kerbal space, like this is near space and stuff like this, it's very easy to send a better rocket out when we have a bit more survivability to get more science back. I'm not going to scrape for 5 science. I'll take the risk and wait for 18. So keep that experiment. And we'll just sit there. And at this point, we're just flying back down and hoping that whatever this is good. It's got automatic mode for landing. So assuming it survives the reentry, which it might not, we should be good to go. And this here, I can say transmit all science. The only science left is the mystery goo. And I hate these things. It's like, no, never deactivate. Because if you deactivate, then yeah, I'm toast, because then it's going to use all the power. But it's actually recharging because of the sun, which is one of the reasons why I like the little tiny whole solar panels and everything. Hey Prime, hey Edie Plays E2. Yeah, no, KSP1 visuals with the mods are quite nice. Like, they make the planets look nicer than originally. Yeah, I think the KSP2 Kerbals are a little bit too cartoony. And if I was going to say one negative thing about them, in terms of like KSP2 right now, is that it's like, yeah, we have Kerbals, great. And the Kerbals only have RCS. They don't have like the little parachute packs and stuff, and they look kind of little, like, I don't want to say silly, but they the things that they need to change from KSP1 to KSP2 was not what the Kerbals looked like. Yes, they are rings around Kerbin. It's a mod that I got. So if I zoom out here like this, when you're really close to them, they look odd, but when you zoom out, that's what they look like. It's one of the mods I got is like called ring stock rings, and they add rings around all the planets. They all look different, like the rings all look different and stuff. Like the Mun ring, if I can find Mun here, I don't think you can even see it. There's Mun. Yeah, so there's a couple other things floating around, but like there's rings around Mun, but I think it's like 3 little tiny rings. You can barely see them until you're much closer. And then, but all the stock planets have some type of ring around them. But as I said, it's a little harder to see them when you're close. because they don't necessarily do it. And basically, right now, we're right beside. Actually, no, we're underneath them again. But when they're perfectly inclination 0 degrees. So if you're traveling at 0 degrees, you don't see them as well. If you're flying around with other stuff, they look really cool, and they also help a lot when you're flying. And you're coming into Kerbin to find out what your inclination is, especially for people doing space planes or other stuff where they want to try to land at the Kerbin Space Center. You can definitely then tell how bad your inclination is when you're coming back from things. But yeah, all planets have rings. I'm not sure they're all inclination 0. I think they might be, but and then I have a couple mod packs that added some extra planets and moons, and they have rings all over the ones. I know the one that's near Dres. I think it's at like inclination 90 degrees. So yeah, um, and we're just waiting for it to land. I should probably speed this up a little bit, but I don't want to speed it up too much because yeah, the problem is when you're doing time warp, when stuff like this is happening, crazy stuff could happen. So in theory, this is not a heat shield, but I think it's acting like a heat shield because it's not really overheating, um, and that explosion was the other stuff. So I think we're good. Yeah, there you go. And we're just gonna rocket down the atmosphere, and I want the parachutes to go at about, let's say, 500. I don't really want them going too early because then it takes a long time for them to actually open. If we go through the cloud layer and whoa, that okay. Um, that's a mountain. Oh dear, that's a mountain, and we're still coming down too fast. Deploy the chute. There we go. They're supposed to be parachutes. Only one of the parachutes deployed. And now this is going to roll down the side of a mountain. Can I? Oh, no. Oh, no. Where are we here? As I'm trying to figure this out. Have we come to a stop? No, we're rolling down the side of a mountain. Great. Welcome to Kerbal. As more sounds of explosions are off in the distance. Okay. So other than we're rolling down a mountain right now, and I'm hearing explosions in the background, which I'm assuming is the parts that broke off the main craft and survived re-entry. We're just waiting for this to stop rolling so that I can recover it. Because right now, it's just rolling around in the dark. There it is. In the dark. Rolling. And I don't want to time warp because I don't want it to go through the mountain or something weird like that. Don't know how much farther it has to go, though. If it was daylight, it'd be easier to see. What is that? Alright, we're going to try warping. Something on the ground there. What is that? It's purple. I have no idea what that is. Oh, that's why we didn't want to do that. And it's done. Yeah. We landed on the side of a mountain. Apparently little purple things on the side of the mountain. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, it exploded. But as I said, the only thing we were really risking was a bit of science on the mystery goo. The rest of it basically was already required, and we met the contract stuff. So that was a 98% success mission. So we're good on that side. Pretty happy with that. Yeah. Now let's see if we can actually, with real money, do some real science and stuff and go. So, what do we got here? Mission control. Oh, we must have landed near. We must have landed near Kerb. All right. What do we got here? Orbit Kerbin. Establish an orbit around Kerbin with a probe. Sure. Why not? Double dipping again. We can do that. So this time we have to just get the probe to actually do stuff. We now have some money, so we can upgrade our research facility. We can upgrade our tracking station, and we can upgrade our launch pad, and we can upgrade mission control twice. There we go. Yeah, if we have at least $100,000, I'm not too worried. There's always ways to make money with $100,000. Okay, so we have an advanced survivability. What's this? Experimental return, another probe core, and a better antenna. Yeah, we're gonna have to play with those antennas carefully because junior science. What else do we have? Better rocketry has a lot of stuff in here, including methane engines, hydrogen engines. What's the efficiencies on these things? Whoa. Okay. Much higher efficiency. Ooh, the pug engine. Um, all right. Interesting. Huh. This engine's twice as big, but does a lot more power. Okay. So we could do that. General construction, I don't really want other than the magnetometer boom. Um, I think the rest of the stuff is useful. Like it's got bigger stack separators and stuff like that, but we're just trying to get around orbit. Avionics we can completely and utterly ignore. Flight control, gyroscopic, inline stabilizer, fuel tank, and mech jab. So we're going to pick this one, which is then going to give us all these cool options here. If we have to upgrade again, and then let's see here, and then we can take this. There we go. Done. All right. So with that, we have our two contracts. Get into orbit. So Operation Get into Orbit is now underway. I have a bit of mech jab now. Yay! So I can use a bit of mech jab if I need to. And I hopefully have upgraded stuff enough that it actually gets to where we need to go. So with that in mind, we do need to readjust what we're doing here, which is basically go to engine core. This is RCS fuel tank. We don't need that because I don't think we have any RCS. Oh, we have a few RCS motors. Oh no, these are gyros. Oh, these are gyros that are good for little tiny things. Okay. So we're gonna say no to that. But we're gonna take one liquid fuel tank. There we go. We'll reconstruct this in a second. We're gonna grab the carrier fuel engine. I think that's the one we want, right? Give me 1 point something. Cool. Okay, we're just gonna slap this on here because I want this. I want these. And we'll get rid of these engine stuff because less parts, the better. If we can just jam it into like two things here. And at this point, we're like, okay, we have a real science project now, or real space. None of this floating around and blowing up on the ground. That only took an hour and 40 minutes to really get into space. So, yay. And now we're able to actually go on a real space program. And we're going to go orbit with probe. Payload. We don't have any more payload options here yet. No. So we're still stuck with this weird outer orbit thing. We have no more survivability, right? Yeah, no, we're still stuck with that. Okay. So we're going to have to deorbit significantly on our return to ensure that we don't crash to the ground. Okay. And because of the folly last time, we're going to go to utilities and we're going to pick these things here. There we go. 4 of these. These are all going to go at 4. Okay. Oh, I saw what happened. Altitude, I lowered it. And the problem with lowering the altitude was that the mountains were higher than the place we're going to. These didn't seem to do what I wanted. So we're going to take them off for now. You know what? No, we're going to leave them on. I think they still work. I just have to figure out what they're supposed to do. Science. There we go. So red, orange, blue. What we don't have is a green one. There's the green one. Okay. And what else do we have here? Plenty of power. Yep. Okay. And we got communicating. Code hanger. All right. I'm going to put this on here just as sort of a secondary communication system, just in case the first one gets damaged. And as we do this, boop, boop, boop. Don't need any more inline wheels. Yeah, I think we're good. 5,000, more than enough to get us into orbit and back. All right. This should be child's play. All right. I do have soft landing mods. It's what I'm using on the bottom of the craft to make the little thing. We kind of see it when it comes down for landing, but the big issue that we have with the soft landing mods is I keep landing in the dark. Because right now we are in the dark. This time I'm going to have to go around Kerbin a couple times. The big issue, though, is that I'll only be able to control the craft when it's over top of the KSC. Because that's our communication relay, which I will show in a second. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it until we're well into the air here. So we're going to use, this is probably the lazy way of getting into orbit, which is we're going to use the first stage, just shoot us straight up at maximum velocity, which we're doing right now, which is going to get us, as we see here in the apoapsis height, well into like the 100. I said that, and it gets us to 95. Good job. All right, and it's gone. And then we're going to engage the smaller one, and that's all we need to do. And now we're just going to wait until we get into the atmosphere. Once we're into space, we're then going to tilt sideways and basically burn a. Well, I could probably show you. Probably have lines, don't we? Yeah, we do. So we have to be in communication with this. You can see it here with the green line. So what we're doing is we're just waiting until we get into space. And once we get into space, we're going to point in this direction. So that direction there. And then max burn this way until we can see. If we turn too fast, end up getting to problems. So there we go. We're into space. We're going to aim it right there. And we're going to punch that engine. And that engine's going to put us into orbit because right now we still don't have enough tracking to actually put nodes on yet with one of the mods I have in here. So we're just going full tilt sideways. And again, our inclination is pretty close to the rings. As we can see, we have rings around Kerbin. But for right now, we're just burning at max. The other thing, too, is I have a mod that tells me when we're re-entering. So that number is going to, as long as it keeps going up, it means that we're not going to crash into the ground. If it starts to go down, it's bad. That's the easy way to say it. All right. But we have to get into orbit around Kerbin, and then we have to orbit Kerbin until we come back, and I want to land in the day and try land, I'm going to say close to mission control, but the reality is that we basically don't have a lot of control on landing because, as we'll see here in a second, as we go away from mission control, the planet eclipses the signal. In Spaceflight Simulator, this is available in more parts mod. I really like it because it does add that extra complication. because obviously right now our orbit's going to be a mess. But if I let it go too far, we will not come back. We will run into a significant problem. All right, which we're actually dealing with right now. Um, what is our? Oh, we're almost there. Come on. There we go. And we see from our contracts, we gotten all the contracts except for the part that says we have to return. And this is going to be the tricky one because we basically want to have it where we need to return. But you can see here with the yellow line, as long as we, and then we're too far away now. So we lost our connection with the command center. So that's the issue we have, is that we can't even get outside these rings. And if we look, there's Mun. So right now we can't even get to Mun with a probe because we have no connection. So when's the Eclipse mod? Probably never. I really was hoping to have it at some point, but I don't know. I got frustrated with the fact that I was looking at doing that water mod, and I spent all that time trying to do that water mod, and then he turned around and just was like, "Oh, I'm doing water now." It's like, great. I'm not bitter. There we go. So we're just going around. We have to wait until we get a point where the KSC and this orbit actually matches up. Because right now, even though we're close to the KSC, oh no, we can see it. Okay. Is it worth it at that point? No, I want to catch it on the other side of the planet. We're coming back. I'm surprised it's going out that far. All right. The one thing it doesn't show me is how strong that signal is. It only shows me the delay time. Um, so it would be nice if it showed an indication, because with the ComNet, it would show you that yes, you're losing that signal, and with this, it just sort of clips out. I think it might go orange right before you actually leave it, but it's not as telling, if I can say that. This is where electricity is important, because if I ran out of electricity, this mission is toast. How far out can we go? Oh, it's giving us a pretty straight line of communication. We may actually be able to do it here. Oh, there it is. All right. So this is too far out. We're going to swing back around here, and we're going to go on a very long, quiet journey at 100 times X until we get to the KSC just had its the morning routine, and we are heading back. And again, there's a mod that shows you has the auroras on the planets as well. You see KSP's got a green one. So yeah, there's a lot of mods in here that I really like. A lot of visual mods. Okay, there we go. So at this point, we need to actually get us out of orbit. So we're going to go to prograde. And before we do this, we're just going to double check that the rocket is pointing in the right direction. Yep. We do not have a lot of fuel left. And that's all we really need to do. And that engine is toast. All right, so we're going to keep the engine on, primarily because I think we're going to need it for the return. I do not have any. Oh, wait. I do need to. Oh, stop. No. I do need to do this. You know what? Screw it. There we go. I needed to ensure the parachutes were activated because we're going to lose signal before the parachute engages. And if we don't tell the probe to deploy the parachutes don't get deployed, and then bad things happen. Very bad things. So you can see here, as soon as the planet gets in line, give or take a little bit of atmosphere and game dynamics, it's going to cut out. There it goes. And we are going to land somewhere. I don't know where. I say that. We're going to land in the water. Almost always we land in the water. Okay. So hopefully it tilts the right way. Yeah, there we go. Good, good. And we only need really one parachute to do this. But I'm hoping all the parachutes survive. Stuff is getting hot because that is not a heat shield. I didn't think it was a heat shield. Oh dear. This is going to go badly. Oh, that's the other rocket craft or whatever. Hey, we survived the reentry. I don't know how that's not totally burnt right now. If I press F11, yeah, this whole thing is hot. I don't know. Well, we're over the water, aren't we? Yep. And at some point, the parachutes will engage. There you go. Parachutes are out. And just time warp down. And yeah, so far so good. Oh, apparently a battery short-circuited. Any damage to the craft causes it to kick us out of time warp, which is another little annoyance, but not the end of the world. And we're going to get down to there. Okay, cool. Oh, there we go. And you can see here now we got this inflated bottom here. So that's going to allow us to land. And then we're going to see if we can sink this craft into the water. Because I want to see if it works or not. As we come down here in a nice soft landing. So we do that. Let's take a picture. And there we are. We are in the water. And it deflates once you're in the water. And then we're going to go to... Oh, we can't do anything because we're not in range of Kerbal. Okay. Well, we're going to recover the vessel. And we have just collected a whole pile of money. And again, more science so that we can keep unlocking our buildings, which on the barn rate have 10 levels instead of just 3. All right, so we collected some science, most of our funds back. We're in the daylight. And now we can orbit the sun. Oh, geez, no, we're not doing that. That's Kerbal in space. We can do it. We've already had a Kerbal in space. Grr. But what I wanted to do was spend a little bit of money. Yeah, some astronaut stuff and whatnot. Okay. What do we have? He wants to visit space, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. So we'll have to see, because right now we have it where part-wise we only have one space. Unless we put 2 of them together, which is crazy. And we would really need a proper heat shield to get this down. All right. So we have $51, so that should be enough to buy some. What's this called? Basics. Like, this is called Basic Science, and it has a Probe Core, Science Junior, storage unit, some radiator panels, antennas, a external radial mounted camera, and the high gain thing. Yeah. So I don't know if I want to spend money on this right now. Hmm. Hmm. We could do this because then I could actually put it in an Airstream shell. All right, we're going to spend our research on general construction. There we go. We're going to need to get a lot more research points. But first Kerbal in space, we're going to take that one. Explore the Mun with a probe, I think is possible. Do we have to land on the Mun? Yeah, we do have to land on the Mun. All right. I think we're going to run into trouble with that one because we can't really get that far. Yeah, we'd have to get something like this with remote tech to put a satellite network up. 3 satellites in orbit. I think we can do that. But we have to do 600,000 meters. So what do you guys think? 3 or 4 satellites into orbit? I'm going to put a Kerbal into space in a second here as we do this, but 3 or 4 satellites to make up the remote net, because we're going to need that network, because without it, we basically can't get to Mun because we'll lose communication. And if we lose communication, well, that's it and everything. All right, so I'm going to toss this whole thing because start from scratch, because we're going to put a Kerbal in orbit, so we actually do need to put a... No, I don't want that. You know what? This has a 2 pod, doesn't it? It holds 2 crew. So we could put a tourist in there. Maybe. Oh, I want to do a submersible one. Okay. We're going to try a submersible project. So what does this have? There's a keythane tank, but it doesn't have any keythane in it. Okay, cool. Radio. Payload bay on top. There we go. Zoom in here. Doop doop doo. Okay, that's there. So we need a smaller one. Okay. Take that, some batteries. And a communication thing. There you go. We're going to build this fairing, which I think is so much smarter than KSP2's fairing disaster thing. There we go. And we're just going to plop this in the water. So we do need to add parachutes. Parachutes. Do we have an actual parachute yet? No, not yet. Okay. And we're going to put an engine on here. Doesn't really matter what we put in. Swivel, fine, whatever. This is not going to go very far. All right. Don't know why it keeps dumping the engine up top, but okay. There we go. It's going to launch. That's going to go, and then it's going to plop that in the water. After which we will see if we can sink it. And while we're doing this, where's the science? Oh, oops. Oceanographer thingy. All right. There we go. All right, we're going to launch this into the water. Only parts that are dense enough to go underwater are the ore tanks. Yeah, so that's where I've added a mod in that lets me apparently make things even deeper ore, but you can also put a bunch of fuel tanks into a science bay or any type of bay, and when the bay closes, it counts the weight, doesn't count the buoyancy, and it'll sink. I can't remember his name, but one of the big YouTubers, that's what he used to put a craft into Lathe and then sink it to the bottom of Lathe. So we're going to try to do it with this little guy here. There's no connection to, oh, shoot, revert flight. I keep forgetting to do this all the time. I need to have transmission. But you'll see. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so basically what they do, if I show it here, I don't know if I have the part. Maybe in payload. Yeah, so they'll have a service bay like this. Okay. And they open the service bay, they fill the service bay with a bunch of stuff, and then when they close it, it still has the mass, but it doesn't have the buoyancy anymore. Because that's how KSP1 apparently works. Deploy the antenna. Oh, okay. Edit fairing needs to be taller than the antenna. There we go. All right. Yeah, so that's the really clever way. This is a mod that allows you to do it not so cleverly because it's a mod. I want to test out and see how well it works. But this mod also, I think, adds in like the underwater science and stuff like that. So I want to see if it works. It's a little bit annoying because it does have this thing saying like ballast, etc. And each part now has like 10 extra things on it, which is kind of annoying to click on. Let's see if I can show it to you. Yeah, so it doesn't have it in this, but yeah, we'll see. This is going to be a test. We're just going to try to get in the water. We just need to get over the water, not spinning like a crazy top. Where's SAS when you need it? Come on. It's like, I just need you to get over water. Your rocket, stop trying to go the other way. There. Hold it steady. Get over the water. And hopefully that's enough. Oh my goodness. That's insane. And we're going to crash to the ground, aren't we? Yes, we are. Oh, wait. Oh, dear. Revert flight to the launch pad. I cannot believe I can't fly like 100 meters into the water. I can put a Kerbal in space, but I can't fly over to the giant pile of water to the right. Oh man, that's a mess right there. All right, we're gonna try this again. SAS on this time. A little bit more control. Get a little bit more height, and it exploded. That quietness you're hearing right now is me going like, "Are you kidding?" Are you kidding me? Uh, all right, we're gonna try it again. This time we're gonna let it fly up for a bit. I realize it's not the most aerodynamic thing in the world, but it's just floating. Oh, I know why it's happening. Okay. It's happening because the thing inside the transmission thing is inside the fairing, which means that it doesn't see it until we're gonna go with this guy here. Yeah. Okay. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah, what's happening is it's once it's flying outside the tower range, the local connection's being nicked. Because you can generally always launch something off the pad if there's at least some type of signal, but the signal is very weak. I'm assuming that's what it is. We're going to see. Um, I was really hoping this was going to go a little faster, but this does make it more complicated, more difficult. So that is kind of what I wanted, but I think the oh snap thing is going to go bye bye because it clearly has issues. Yeah, now we're still flipping. Oh, we still have our thing, and it's lost its connector point. All right, revert flight. I think we have to add some stabilization wings on this thing. This can be a very expensive. All I'm trying to do is put this little probe in the water and then sink it, and to see if it actually will sink. This is crazy. All right, launch it. Now we're spending quite a bit of money on this, but okay. Uh, bum-ba-da, 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 bum. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. All right, now we got wings. This thing better not fall apart. I don't understand what's going wrong here. Man, this is annoying. Oh well. Alrighty. I think it's gonna be the last one we're gonna try. Then I'm probably gonna call it quits. Mainly because I just want to see if it goes underwater, and it's like it's not even getting to the like I can't even fly the rocket to the shore. I can get one into space, but I apparently can't get it to the shore. It's very, very odd. Because SAS should be working fine. I just want a slight tilt, tick, tick, tick. I'm gonna run out of power soon, so there we go. And it exploded. I still have this, but without a controller, I can't sync it. Well, Kaboom safety cover says Kaboom. And I can't even blow it up because it doesn't have a connection. Oh, no. It's over the water now. And circuit battery broke. And here it comes into the water. Oh, let's see. Is the submersible? Oh, no, it's just going to blow up. Awesome. I could try that. Trying to get to the water. I don't know if I have any wheel stuff. I don't think I have any, like, yeah, an inline stabilization wheel might work. I don't know. It's for some reason just breaking apart. And it's because I think I've got the mod on that does it's called like the FAR mod. And it adds like much more realistic Virtus building. Close that. There we go. So it causes things to break apart. I do have some options here, like strutting, etc. And I have something called firm, which will make things a little bit more stable, I think. But yeah, let's just try that. Part auto strut. Yeah. And I can put rigid attachment on. There you go. Part auto strut, rigid attachment on. So this should hopefully allow the rocket to be more stable. That's not going to do anything. Okay. I think this antenna is a bad idea. I'm going to put the other one in. As much as I like that, as it looks cool and appropriate, I think this one on top is going to be better once it gets to the water. Yeah, I think so. Turn it gold. All right. All right. That should make it better. We're going to try that. Because otherwise, yeah, I'll have to do the wheel inline stabilizer and try to drive it, roll it all the way over. But rolling things across the ground, like Kerbal Space Program 1, the ground is always an interesting place. You try not to touch the ground too often. So, but it is what it is, I guess. All right. Because again, it doesn't have to go too far over. Okay, I still have connection. I still have connection. So we're still good to go. Awesome. Oh, don't do that on me. There we go. Woohoo! This might be a successful mission. All right. And here, whole bunch of ballast controls. So let's see what happens when we get down to the water. All this work just to try to put a probe in the water and then see if we can sink it to the bottom. Oh, and reaction wheel just failed. Awesome. So can we even turn it anymore? Nope. And the chargeable battery just shorted out. Yeah, so much stuff breaks in this game. with this mod. I don't think I like it. I thought it was going to add more difficulty, but it's like at this point it has broken everything, and I'm going to run out of electrical charge before I get to the ground. Like seriously, I didn't think solar panels would be needed. Can I repair stuff? Like at this point, the whole stack has failed. Uh, oh well, we'll see if we can get down. Yeah, so that mod I think is going to go bye bye just because it's a neat mod, but it just stuff breaks too quickly. Like I'm sitting here going like we're parachuting down, and I lost 3 batteries and the probe core. So I'm going to run out of electricity before I even get to the water, which means as soon as I run out of electricity, I run out of the ability to do what I want. Because I didn't think I'd. There you go. Okay. Open ballast tank. Is it going to sink or not? Doesn't look like it's sinking. And I'm out of power. So I'm not sure about that one. Oh, I'm here. I'm trying to figure out how to sink this thing and put it in the water. I'm having some trouble with some of these mods because I'm reading how the mods are supposed to work, and then I'm trying them and I'm going like, why do I have a mod called Sink It All when I look at it going like I can't sink a little probe, which is basically made of batteries, which are pretty high density things, right? Batteries should sink on their own, and then a probe core. I'm like, okay, come on, that should sink. So I think Sink Them All is also gone. Sink them all. That's out. I'm just putting a note here on my little pad. And I'm also going to cover that. Also going to get rid of this scrap. That one's out because it does failures, which is I like, but it just the failure rate is insane. If we go here, options. I don't know if I can change that. There's scrapyard and scrap. So allowed failures. It has all these failures that allow, but there's no way to control how often they happen. And then here, this is the other mod that goes with it, Scrapyard, which is designed to, enable the inventory, tracking the parts, and then idea being is that it's supposed to these two work together. So the more you use that type of part, the better it works. But I'm looking at going like it just keeps breaking. Like breaking my batteries keep breaking, probes keep breaking. It's just a little crazy. And I haven't even got to the point where I can use some of these other tools that I have. Like there's all these mods I have, like where I haven't even got close to using them. Because I'm still just trying to get off the ground in a career mode. Obviously, if I was in like sandbox, I could just sandbox my way through it. But I also want to look at like missions and stuff like that that could be done. So, yeah, like this one here, it's observed from the space center. You know, apparently advanced is negative 127. So this one here, this contract, huh? Okay, apparently it will search the sky for me. Great. But like there's magnetron scans, biome scans. Like there's all this stuff to do, and I like it. But like I'm having enough trouble just trying to get the thing off the ground without it failing. Um, so I'm not sure about this. I do like all the extra parts though. That's always good. But overall, I think that I'm gonna have to spend a lot more time playing with these parts because I think there's a bunch of these mods that are, they're cool mods, but they don't really add the functionality that I was hoping they would to the game in terms of like difficulty. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to make some serious decisions on this, because having these things where I can't even launch something into the ocean, which you can just see at the horizon over there, is a little bit silly. So I think that's where we're going to end it today. It's been 2.5 hours. I just think that it's I really like all these mods. I'm looking at saying like there's all these other mod stuff that I'd like to do that I'm just like I haven't even got to. Um, so and then there's like things like you're saying, the Star Trek mod and stuff that I should be looking at. So anywho, so that's it for me today. I'm gonna play around a little bit in the mod packs and make some adjustments there. I did like the suggestion of doing mod reviews, so I'll look at doing some of those. Once I'm sort of happy with some, and I say, hey, this is worth downloading and dealing with the extra slowness and everything, whereas some of these others are not so much. So there you go. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you've made it all the way to this point. But for now, we're going to revisit, regroup, and see where we go.